Everyone wants to be rich. Go to any street and ask 100 people if they want financial freedom, and every single one of them will say yes. But statistically, 99% of them will die without ever achieving it. Why is there such a massive gap between desire and reality? Is it bad luck? Is it a lack of talent? No. The uncomfortable truth is that your brain is biologically wired to keep you poor. Today we are going to reverse engineer the psychology of the few people who actually break through the gravity of poverty. We are not talking about people who win the lottery or inherit millions. We are talking about the self-made, the ones who start with nothing and build empires. When you analyze their behavior patterns, you realize they are running a completely different operating system than the rest of society. They have rewritten their biological code to do things that feel unnatural to the average human. The first trait of the future rich is a high tolerance for uncertainty. Let us look at this through the lens of evolutionary psychology. For thousands of years, certainty meant survival. If you knew where the food was, you lived. If you walked into the unknown fog, you died. So your brain rewards you with dopamine when you choose safety. This is why the majority of people crave a steady paycheck. They trade their time, which is their most limited asset, for a fixed amount of money because it feels safe. But here is the paradox. The price of certainty is a capped upside. If you sell your time for a wage, your wealth can only grow linearly. But the future rich understand that wealth is not linear, it is exponential. To get exponential results, you must embrace uncertainty. You must be willing to work for years without a guaranteed paycheck. You must be willing to build a business or invest in assets that might go to zero. The average person looks at an entrepreneur and sees a risk taker, but the entrepreneur looks at the employee and sees the biggest risk of all: the risk of placing your entire financial survival in the hands of one boss or one company. The people who eventually become rich have trained their brains to override the fear of the unknown. They do not seek a safe harbor. They seek the open ocean because they know that is where the new lands are discovered. The second trait is the ability to decouple effort from immediate reward. We live in an instant gratification society. You post a photo and get likes instantly. You order food and it arrives in 30 minutes. Your brain has become addicted to this short feedback loop. You do something and you get a reward. This is how a job works. You work for a month, you get paid for a month. But wealth creation does not work like this. Wealth creation follows the law of the bamboo tree. You water the ground for 5 years and see nothing. No sprout, no growth, just dirt. People laugh at you. They say you are wasting your time. But in the 5th year, that bamboo tree grows 80 feet tall in 6 weeks. The growth was happening underground the whole time, building a root system strong enough to support the height. The future rich are capable of working in the dark for years. They can endure the long, silent period where they are putting in massive effort, but seeing zero results in their bank account. This is called the Valley of Despair. Most people quit here. They say, "This is not working," and they go back to their safe jobs. But the future rich possess a trait called grit. They understand that the lack of visible results is not a lack of progress. They are building the roots. If you cannot work for a year without applause, you will never build a legacy that lasts for generations. The third trait is immunity to social validation. This is the most visible trap for the middle class. We are social animals designed to care what the tribe thinks of us. In the modern world, this manifests as the status game. You buy a luxury car, you cannot afford to impress people you do not like. You buy expensive clothes to signal that you are successful. But let us analyze the mechanics of this behavior. When you spend money to look rich, you are literally destroying your wealth to build an image of wealth. It is a financial suicide mission driven by insecurity. The people who actually become wealthy are often indistinguishable from the crowd during their building phase. They drive modest cars. They live below their means. They are not interested in looking rich today, they are interested in being rich tomorrow. They have suppressed the ego's need for validation. They do not need your admiration because they have internal certainty. They know where they are going. They know that every dollar spent on a status symbol is a soldier that could have been sent out to capture more territory in the market. They treat money as a tool for production, not a toy for consumption. If you cannot stop caring about what your neighbors think, you will never have more money than your neighbors. The fourth trait is a hyper-awareness of the value of time. Poor people think about money. Rich people think about time. The average person will drive across town to save $10 on a purchase. They will spend hours searching for a coupon. They are trading hours of their life for a few pieces of paper. They value money more than their life. The future rich do the opposite. They will spend money to save time. They will hire cleaners. They will pay for faster shipping. They will buy courses to learn skills faster instead of trying to figure it out alone. They understand that money is a renewable resource. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Every second that ticks by is gone forever. They ruthlessly eliminate low-value activities from their lives. They do not scroll on social media for 3 hours a day. They do not get involved in petty gossip or political arguments on the internet. They guard their mental bandwidth like a fortress. They know that to build an empire, you need deep focus, and you cannot have deep focus if your mind is cluttered with cheap dopamine and distraction. Finally, the most important trait is the shift from consumer to producer. Look at your life right now. Are you consuming or are you producing? When you watch YouTube, you are a consumer. When you make a video, you are a producer. When you buy a product, you are a consumer. When you sell a solution, you are a producer. Money always flows from the consumer to the producer. It is a universal law. The masses are trained to be consumers. They are trained to sit passively and be entertained. The future rich are creators. They look at the world and ask, what is missing? What problem can I solve? How can I add value to other people's lives? They do not wait for someone to give them an opportunity. They create the opportunity. This shift requires a change in identity. You must stop seeing yourself as a passive observer of life and start seeing yourself as an active architect of reality. You must become comfortable with selling. You must become comfortable with putting your work out into the world and facing criticism. So ask yourself today, which operating system are you running? Are you seeking safety or opportunity? Are you addicted to immediate rewards, or are you building for the long term? Are you trying to look rich or be rich? Are you hoarding money or buying time? Are you consuming or producing? Changing your psychology is painful. It requires you to kill the old version of yourself, the version that seeks comfort, the version that wants to fit in. But on the other side of that pain is a life of freedom that 99% of people can only dream of. The door is open, but only those who are willing to rewire their brains can walk through it.